Hello, guys. Welcome. You got Ciara and Ed in the house. Let us know if you have trouble hearing us. We're using the mic and we are outside. So, welcome to those who are joining.
Hi.
So we just want to start off with some housekeeping before we start introducing and going on from there. If you want to comment, you can comment right down below there. You can also tap on the screen here for the hearts, and that will show us that you're engaged and involved. And if you slide right on an iPhone or up on an Android, you can share this broadcast as well as see who else is here and tap on their profile, and you'll actually be able to find them and follow them here on Periscope.
Yeah.
So, welcome to those who are joining us. My name's Ed Troxel. I'm your creative consultant, and I help you think outside the box and get inspired and motivated for your online businesses. And I have my guest here, Ciara. And we did a scope last week. If you didn't check that out, it's probably not on Periscope anymore because it only lasts for 24 hours, but it is on Facebook. We also have it up on our website, which is edtroxelcreative.com. If you click on Scope School, you'll actually see the broadcast there and some links to what we covered in the broadcast. Mm-hmm. So, today we're talking about self-doubt.
Self-doubt, y'all.
How many of you guys have self-doubt in what you're doing? Even if you don't have an online business, go ahead and either tap on the screen and show
those
some hearts.
If you feel that way, tweet at us.
Yes.
Tweet at us.
Or go ahead and put in the comments there where you're from and what you're doing. And so that way we know we want to interact with you guys, because this is the whole point. Like, we're setting the topic for you. We're going to talk about self-doubt and how social media can help with that.
And then run with it.
Exactly.
And talk to us. Talk to each other.
Yes. Perfect.
I'm going to put my phone down.
So, self-doubt. We all have it, right? Doing my business, there's always going to be self-doubt every time I come up with something or work on something. Ciara, we were just talking about that with you.
Mm-hmm. That's what I sat down with, actually. I was like, doubting myself a little bit. Not a little bit, not even a lot. It's just this understanding that I'm in a place in my life that new things are happening, new challenges are coming into my life, and I'm a little unsure of how to deal with them because they're new. And so because they're new, that's unknown, that's scary, and now I doubt that I'm going to know how to handle it and I'm going to know what to do in this situation. So I came to Ed with this little I was going to say freak out. I didn't freak out. No. I actually was in this mood, this tone, talking about it. It's just like, where we go from here? Like, I know that my self-doubt is, it's only coming from a wanting to succeed, a little bit of a failure to fail, or being scared of failing.
Yeah.
And I know that what I'm doing, with the things that I'm launching, which we'll talk about in a little bit, the things that I'm coming out with are brand new, and they're really exciting. And I think because of how much the excitement is, to balance that scale, I have to have a little bit of fear. I have to have the amount of fear that I'm excited with to be able to balance that and have a successful product. So we're asking you what you do when you doubt yourself. I am, at least. I think that this is what this community is for, is that when we are struggling with something, or when we're coming across something new, or, hey, I found something out new and I want to share this is what a community is about. And that's how we're going to be able to overcome these things and be able to do it together. That's
true, yeah. And you guys, please start commenting in there about, like, maybe what your self-doubt is. And again, it doesn't have to relate to a business if you're not doing one, but we all have self-doubt no matter what it is. And Ciara brings up a great point that, especially when you're onto something, you're going to have more self-doubt than any other time. And you're going to have a lot of things trying to pull you away from that success train,
Exactly. Success train.
Yeah. You like that? Just came up with that. So you really have to push through that and be able to know what's going to work and what's not. Thank you for those hearts. So that's the big point of working with self-doubt, is that, luckily Ciara has me to help out with her, and we can talk to each other, and we can actually broadcast with you guys to kind of help with that as well. And go ahead and read that, Ciara.
Social media self-doubt always. Yeah, and actually that's where we're gonna go, is like, how do we either use that to, how do we use social media to overcome it, which is what we're trying to get a hold of, because social media can also cause self-doubt. And that's where I'm at a little bit too, because it's more of I think an initial reaction to wanting to be able to put yourself out there and be vulnerable, and being vulnerable and trusting people with your vulnerability is my biggest struggle. And I challenge myself every day, especially with the job that I have and the job that I'm going into and having you guys around. So I'm a little worried about this too. I think that's a really valid statement. And I want to continue this conversation through Twitter as well, and through his Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, you guys. I'm sorry. But I am on Instagram, and I am on Twitter, which is where we can talk. And I'm really good at responding to. So talk to me. And
that's the great point, too, that she brings up, is that not everyone's going to be on the same social network. And that's fine. You don't have to be on every single one. Most of my clients aren't on Periscope, yet I'm still scoping, and I'm still having people come on to help inspire you guys who are on here. But more importantly, hopefully you'll share this with people that aren't on here. Right now I'm trying to help others who are online, but they have them, encourage them to share these things offline with their other friends.
Exactly. In conversation, in real human contact.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
This.
Yeah. So, and it's a great point with the social media part, is that you're putting yourself out there, right? You're being vulnerable. Like I've said in previous scopes, I haven't been the best on here prior to the last few scopes, and yet now I'm more comfortable on here, and I'm really helping engage and everything with you.
Yes.
And self-doubt is fear.
It is fear.
It is, and the more you practice, the more you're going to get over it. For instance, take scoping. I had to keep doing it every day and keep going with it before I finally got comfortable on here. And then now I had to pull this one in to start scoping with me, and after our last two was in one day, after our last two, we were like, let's try to make this a weekly thing, and we're really going to try to work on it where we can do a weekly scope with you guys, so that way we can really engage and come up with great topics. And Ciara brings up a good point too, is following us on Twitter. Both of us are on Twitter, and letting us know there. Thank you for that. Letting us know there what you're interested in, what you're curious about, because I'm going to try to make it a point every time to post on there before I go live, and I did today, so that way you guys can be prepared to come on here, and then also to see what's going on.
I would love to give you more of us.
Exactly, yeah. And I want to know what topics you guys want. So tweet us over there so that way we can understand and figure out before we go live on there. But really we just get into a discussion on here and engage with you guys. So please feel free to ask questions in the comments. We'll try to get to them as quickly as we can. And engage, the self-doubt with social media is a big thing for that.
Yeah. I mean, self-doubt in social media, that's like what we want to discuss, but also being able to not be afraid of your self-doubt. So I don't know if this is an inception kind of just hang with me for a second. So being scared of your self-doubt, which is fear. Is that right? So if it's fear that we're scared of, what are we scared of, really? It doesn't make any sense. So I need help. I need your help. I want you to talk to me on Twitter. I want you to tag me in things that you might think that I could share out to people as well, and might be successful for me too.
And you actually bring up a great point, is going back to a word we like to use, feedback.
Love it. I'm not scared of that.
Yeah, that is a great point that Ciara brings up, is that we want to make sure that you're getting the assistance that you need, and you're overcoming your self-doubt. So you should be encouraging people to tag you and to ask for your opinion, and really find out what it is that you need. Right now I'm in a cool Facebook group. It's a private one, so I can't really share with you guys, but it's a private Facebook group that is great conversation going on with over 100 people in terms of what they're doing, how they're doing it, what they're trying to do. For any of you that are on here that you know what I'm talking about with the 1K one day or the Rich Friends.
You gotta follow Nicole. She's amazing.
Yeah, Nicole's awesome. So if you know anything about that, then hey, what's up?
If you don't, go to his website, which will have all that information, and then you get to learn.
Exactly, under Scope School. But, we're in this group, and it's amazing because, Nicole, who is in charge of everything, has just set up the group, and we're all invited in there privately, and yet then we can comment and help each other out with our different tasks, and we have different homework assignments, and so everyone's at different skill levels, different tech savviness, yet everyone's posting in there and helping each other and saying, hey, great to see you, what about this, or did everyone get this, and all of that. So it's really awesome to be able to connect and talk to people I've never met before until now, and it's all through social media.
Yeah. I saw a couple of comments on there. Kelsey, I saw yours, and yours was exactly right. You hit the nail on the head. You want to ask other people about how they deal with theirs, because not just ask it, you want to ask for feedback. You want to ask people, and even people that you trust. Like, I can go to Ed and say, okay, I'm struggling with these things right now. I know you know me well enough to be able to get me some information. You can tell me, hey, I have noticed this about you. What's going on? Because he's paying attention to me. So ask for feedback. The other comment that I saw was, to get over your self-doubt, you want to do things that you're afraid of. I can paraphrase that, but that's exactly right. And this is one thing I hold to myself. I have the kind of personality that I am very attracted to things that challenge me. I'm very attracted to those things.
Which is great.
Which is amazing. Which means that I'm also surrounded by my fear, because I love things that challenge me. But the reason I like those things, and this is what I remind myself all the time, is I have those things in my life to challenge me so that I'm learning all the time. Yes. I'm being challenged. I'm not complacent. So I need to also balance those things really well for myself. And I get ahead of those things sometimes, and sometimes I don't. But you're absolutely right. You want to do things that challenge you and face you with your fear dead on.
Yeah, and tying into that, the other comment that I saw on there was about overcoming self-doubt with social media and stuff. So the way at least the way I do it, and everyone's going to be different, but the way I'm doing it is I'm just practicing. I'm just going online and practicing. I'm commenting, I'm posting, I'm scoping, everything. So if you're not at that part yet to a scope, which I highly encourage you to do it now.
Everyone is.
It's great. Even if you have one person, just do it. It doesn't matter. Put yourself out there and just ignore the rest of the people that are showing up, and you're fine. So what I'm trying to say is try to practice, whether it's that commenting like you're doing right now in our scope. Jump on other people's scopes and comment. You want to also be sure to go on your different social sites that you're on in terms of Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Go on those sites and check people out and comment on there. Like, give them feedback.
Yeah.
Give them specifics. Like, I'm all about that. Like, somebody had emailed me yesterday and wanted my feedback on a design that they had. So sure, no problem. It's one of my clients. I looked at the design. I thought it was great. Well, instead of just saying it was great, I put specific feedback on why I thought it was great, and she really appreciated that. So just be aware of what you're talking about and what you're doing on there.
Absolutely. I also saw that comment just there was be able to reflect.
Yes, that's a huge one.
Think about like where you're at and reflect. Why is this a valid concern I have? Like this, I'm actually talking to myself right now.
That's
but
good.
yeah, it's like,
that's good.
Are these valid? Does any of this like hold any truth? Am I scared of something that's like legitimate? Am I pulling toxic things into my life? Am I not going on the right path? Those are legitimate questions, and being able to reflect on those things is absolutely necessary.
Oh,
absolutely necessary.
Like I said, on the previous scopes that I've had, like the beginning ones, they're terrible. And I looked at them afterwards and I reflected and I said, okay, Ed, you sucked. Like, that's not you. No one's going to watch you. You're boring.
That's more like it. It's not that they sucked. It was just like, that wasn't him. So he could go back and say, hey, is this right?
Exactly. So, okay, so you don't like your voice being recorded. Let me tell you.
I hate it.
I hate it too.
Oh, it's the worst.
This is, what you're seeing here is us being real, and this is how we are in real life, and now we finally can bring it to the camera. This has taken me personally weeks to do, because I never, ever like being on this side of the camera.
It's probably not that bad.
It's always on the other side, because I'm the photographer, I'm the creative part, so I'm always on the other side of the camera. So being here is a huge vulnerable spot for me.
And he does it every day.
Exactly.
And you guys are here watching. So.
It's getting better and better every time. And the fact that you guys are here joining and using your time with me is awesome. I really appreciate that because I know your time's worth a lot, and we don't want to give you, crappy content. We want to be able to engage with you and give you something that you can walk away saying, okay, I feel good about that, or that gave me some benefit to this or value for this.
Right. And we respect you taking a moment to be present with us. It's not just about the time, it's about that you're dedicating a moment to stop what you're doing to hear what we have to say. And I'm saying a lot more about I need your help.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
but I'm glad that you're here.
A great point too, because of the fact that when you're on Periscope watching, you really can't do anything else.
Yeah.
So you really are taking that time to be present and in this moment to interact and engage with us and everyone else here. So that's a great point.
Thank you.
Well done. The other thing that came up when we were talking is the ability to say no. That's a big one to self-doubt, okay? Because you're going to have those things that are pulling at you every time.
That's a good one.
And saying no is huge. I'm one. Yes, we'll definitely follow you for sure.
Follow us. Let us know that you found us on Periscope, and we'll follow you back.
Exactly. Thank you. So saying no is a big one. For me, I've always been a yes man. I'm always, of course I can do that. Yes, I can do that. I love doing that. No problem.
I'm flexible.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, you have to learn to say no, and you have to understand why you said no.
Yeah, exactly. Saying yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's saying yes and saying no in the appropriate manner. You can't always say yes. You can't always say no either. There's people all over the place that, especially in our place of work, that you need to be able to balance those things. And if you're taking a minute and saying, you're right, it takes practice. It takes practice because you might say no to the thing you should have said yes to, and you will feel that immediately. Those things go without question. If you're self-aware and you're aware of other people, those things don't get by you.
Right.
So that's another thing to say, I'm self-aware. I know how other people feel in conversation with me. I can read them really well. So saying no in a situation, I know that I can say no in this situation and the other person's going to hear me correctly. But a lot of the time I have a hard time saying no because I want to give, I want to help, and I don't want, you're uncomfortable, and I can make myself a little uncomfortable to make you feel better, but it's but you might be giving too much.
Yep.
You have to pay attention to your situation.
And that's a big thing, too, to your success and to overcoming self-doubt as well, is that you have to be able to say no at the appropriate times, because if you don't, then you're saying no to the things that you really want to do and really want to push forward with. Therefore, your time's being taken away. So keep that in mind, that it's not just about saying no, it's about saying no because I have these priorities that I need to take care of.
Exactly.
So that's a big one, I think.
Or it's compromise. Maybe it's the philosophy that in Proverbs have, where it's yes and, where it's more just about it's not just saying yes. It's about saying yes and adding to the situation, or adding to the situation saying, yeah, because I can help you with this. Would you mind helping with this? Or whatever the situation is. It's just, maybe no isn't the definitive answer, but yes might not be either.
Correct, yeah. And that's actually going to be another show topic, yes and. I really love that, so we won't talk too much about that one, but let's read some comments. Okay, taking on too much and not giving enough attention to the big Exactly.
Fantastic. Boundaries. Boundaries are huge for me too. What's your name? Put your name up here so I can call you by name. But you're absolutely right. Boundaries are huge. That actually, hello Jerry. Thank you for that, because that was perfect. And a lot of that is me too. Boundaries also kind of not counteract, but conflict with your they conflict with where was I going with that? I had such a good point, and I got distracted by saying hello to you.
Boundaries. So we'll talk about boundaries while.
It goes into you actually saying no, and having boundaries is one thing that for me I have to look at my vulnerability.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes don't see that line, and it may be a relationship, it may be a work relationship, it may be a project you want to take on, but you're taking on too much and you're not seeing where your line is, and you're overextending yourself, and that's where your boundaries come in. Good job, Jerry, you got it.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Like I was saying earlier about being in this Facebook group, there was somebody who actually posted in there about similar topic, about boundaries, is that you really have to set a schedule for when you're looking at, in this case, this example was looking at your social media feeds, like your Facebook feed and everything,
Oh, wow.
because you can really get caught up in checking that,
House
just like
cleaning,
email.
guys.
Exactly.
House cleaning.
It's just like email. When you constantly are checking it throughout the day, how much other work are you getting done when you're constantly, oh, I got to reply to that. Oh, they just posted in there. Oh, I got like 5 Facebook comments here. Let me take a look at that. And then you're distracted all day long. So they brought up a great point, is that boundaries, you have to set it there. Let's see what that one says. Yeah, protecting the times as well. Yeah, you have to protect the times. I mean, again, you guys are protecting this time right now to be here present and engage with us, which is huge because you could be doing something else, and yet you're taking the time to be present with us and help learn and engage with others, and it's great.
And help teach.
Exactly.
You're teaching me. I feel so much better on my self-doubt today. Thanks.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about Periscope, in that you guys should be encouraging. It should be encouraging for you guys, is that even if you're not going to scope, commenting and engaging with random people is awesome, because it's a community and it's teaching you how to interact with each other online and taking everything from offline to online. And it should be vice versa too. That's a big one for me, is that it's teamwork equals success, and you're going to hear that over and over from me. In fact, if I get this correct, I had a customer, when I had called Verizon the other day, and I had a customer representative on the phone, and she was hilarious. She had such good spirits, and she was like, we were talking and everything, and she's like, teamwork makes the dream work. And I had to laugh a little bit, and I was like, what? And so she said it again, and I was just like, I felt so much better after she told me that.
Yeah.
And it was a fun thing. She enjoyed her job. She was having a great time.
Yeah.
We totally connected, and so it was great. It was fun.
That's amazing. You just have to enjoy what you're doing. I think that was Jerry that was on there, that you've been shy in public. That's okay. I used to be shy too, and now look at me. I have no cares. I don't care at all. But
I'm really shy.
He's not that shy.
If I don't know you, I'm really shy.
For sure. I care. Again, I give no cares. But what I wanted to say to that was, use social media to do this, because for me, I can tell, especially right now, like I feel much better than I was feeling before, because I got to get this off my chest, but I also got to do it in a safe environment. And as crazy as the internet can be sometimes, good. I'm glad. As crazy as the internet can be, it's also a place of support. So when someone's like giving you feedback, like understand that's support. If someone's asking you questions because they trust you, and that's also support. It's understanding what role you play and what role you play for yourself and other people. But play with Periscope. You're doing a really good job. Be on Twitter, be on Instagram. Show yourself. Show what's going on in your life. I think social media gets such a bad rap sometimes, and it's really the way our generation communicates, and this is the way our generation learns as well, and we need to take advantage of it and stop listening to, there's a lot of stuff. You are doing all of that. I'm glad. Keep doing it, and use this to make yourself not shy.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're not shy on social media. I mean, you're the one that's commenting. Look at you. You're going. You're going for it. You can do that in public.
Yeah.
Because you're that person. Yeah, you totally can.
So that's awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. We don't want to take too much more of your time. So continue to follow us. Again, I'll have the link for this in our show notes on our Scope School, which is at our website, edtroxelcreative.com. You can find it if you slide to the right on iPhone or slide up on Android, and you'll tap on my name. You'll see it there. You can also follow me here on Periscope. Fun fact, if you follow me on Periscope, it doesn't mean that you're automatically following me on Twitter. So you do need to go over to Twitter if you're on there and follow me there, so that way you can see when the next shows will be, as well as what topics we might cover, or when I want to ask you, like I did today, on what topics to cover. So,
or when I'll be back.
Exactly.
And I can say hi.
Yes, because we're going to get her on here quite a bit more, and then we'll start getting her on her scope as well. So we hope you guys have a great day, and enjoy the rest of your Monday. We have great weather out here right now in California.
Let's see. It's 75 degrees. It is 75 degrees right now. We're in the shade, but it's nice. I want to add one other thing.
Please.
I actually recently just saw a YouTube video from a really beautiful little thing. She's amazing. Her name's Ingrid Nilsson. I'll put that on my Twitter. I actually just tweeted this video, and it's about self-doubt. And my tweet was that it was a reminder of how we're all human and that everyone has this. And I think that, yes, I am wearing a flannel. This is my everyday attire. Or a hoodie.
She gets cold easily.
Too. But I want you to check out this video. It helped me kind of get to more realizations. I think I'm going to rewatch it now that you guys helped me and I feel like a little bit better. I'm going to rewatch it and kind of come to some of the resolutions she came to. But I really encourage you to watch that because it's really great. It's also really nice to see someone vulnerable who's, actually in a different stage. She doesn't have any makeup on. She normally does. And she's like, I'm raw today. And I loved that. It made me feel really at home that someone else could be vulnerable with me. So I encourage you to watch that. We'll put it on his website and then I'll tweet about it again. So follow me and you'll be able to see it. And 90 degrees.
Florida. Woo. With
I
that
don't know,
humidity?
that humidity, my hair though. It's like too much. Way too much.
We wouldn't be able to fit in this little frame here
this
for
is
Periscope.
all on the other side. There you go. There you go, Ed. Nice.
Love it. All right, guys. Have a great rest of the Monday, and we'll see you guys soon, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.